After several visits, USDN engaged with community leaders on Hawai'i Island, becoming excited about the resilience work our communities were doing and wanted to share it as a model for others to be inspired by. The Vibrant Hawai'i network of community-led resilience hubs partners with local businesses, nonprofit organizations, and government to fulfill community needs in all three resilience modes: every day, disruption, and recovery. Each hub on Hawai'i Island is unique to the community it serves and committed to working as a cohesive network to develop skills and trust relationships and support communication, information, and resource sharing. Vibrant Hawai'i serves the role of network coordinator, providing facilitation monthly roundtables, coordination of training and drills, and resources for hubs and the communities they serve.
The Men of Pa'a is a group of men that we help reintegrate from the justice system. We do this through practicing our culture. We do this through housing. We do this basically through our community service that we provide for our community. In order to serve our community at the level we were serving, we needed to up our administrational and organizational capacity. And with Vibrant Hawai'i, that helped us do that throughout the couple of years we've been involved with them now as a resilient hub. One of the biggest things is when we get cut off from lava. Machinery is out here in Puna or in Pahoa area so that we have, in case of an emergency, we have machineries here. I have a forklift that's coming in through a grant. I have an excavator that's coming in through a grant. We did get chainsaws and tools and stuff like that in case we have any kind of emergencies. Starlink, so we have internet service. It really is about connecting people so that in case there's an emergency, we are able to prepare for it, handle it during the emergency, and then recover from it.
As a rural community, we only really have one main road, the highway that connects us to the rest of the island. And what makes us vulnerable is that if that gets cut off, then we're isolated from basically almost 100% of our sources of food and medicine. It behooves us to have these hubs out in these isolated areas so that our response can be faster and it can be locally based, and we wouldn't have to depend on those outside sources that might be delayed because of that one system that gets us in and out.
We were born out of social circus, which is a desire to bring circus to the community as a force of social justice, as a force of confidence building, as a force of bringing community together. But we've become more than that. We're a resilience hub. We're interested in food resilience. We're interested in social resilience that really draws in young to old and brings in celebration to the community through our performances. So the way that we communicate with people, firstly, we're part of the bigger Vibrant Hawai'i network, and that helps us get direct information about incoming potential threats and dangers that are happening to our community. People do come by here with their kids and everything, but it's also accessible walking, so we can disseminate information in that way. We have Starlink access, so if there was a communication cutoff with your regular lines, we've got the Starlink access. We're getting lists of people that are doctors, first aid responders, people that can do CPR, so that we have that emergency list. If there is something that happens, we have that information and we can get it out. During disaster recovery, there is a lot of trauma that happens to kids, to adults. The capacity to laugh, to find relief, to remember that there are other parts of ourselves. And I think that one of the things that space has the capacity to bring is that laughter. And then I'm learning to juggle, and I'm learning how to hold different balls in the air at the same time. And how does this metaphor work with my everyday life? How am I going to be juggling my insurance needs, food, all of these different things? So I think that that is something really crucial that we can bring in disaster recovery, a way to help work with the trauma as it is happening and help transform it as it is happening so that it doesn't build up.
There's two ways to come into Kohala, along the coastline, and then another road we call Kohala Mountain Road. And there has been times when we were trapped here. We've had floods, road damage, or a tree would fall on the road, and then we'd be trapped in Kohala. It was scary before, But now with the Resilience Hub, it's my job to make sure that, everybody's prepared. We have enough food in case of an emergency. People have their emergency kits. It is all about trust. I'll get calls. They have my cell number. They'll call me asking for a COVID test kit, and if they can't drive, I'll go deliver. Or auntie, I don't have a car, I'm disabled. I need to run to the store to get some food. I'll go pick up somebody. And then Vibrant Hawai'i offered for all the Resilience Hubs to come together, to be organized for each district in the Hawai'i Island. We had training with them, just connecting with the other hubs and their needs, and we're always still learning.
I'm learning a lot from my fellow hubs. We have this community now that I feel like each district is so different, not just geographically, but really the kinds of communities and the types of people that are involved in the hubs, that among us, we all have these different skills and resources, that makes it really robust as a hub community.
Government only can do so much, right? And they have been really good to us here in Puna. But there's going to be a time when we don't have that help, where we never have power for a month, where we never have our food and our water was disappearing. At any given moment, that time is going to come.
Traditional model is that government comes in and takes care of everything and does everything. Some people rely on that model. Some people don't trust that model. But forever, county government does not have the capacity to do that. It's really about building the community capacity in order for them to take action and do the things that are necessary. And I see that direct correlation to the Resilience Hub work that's being done, is how do we build community to be able to provide the services, help to navigate some of the challenges that are there, help facilitate some of the discussions that are happening.
Because of climate change, we often think about disasters as large-scale weather events, but the reality is that at a community level, disasters are felt every day by family and neighbors, and it could be things like unemployment or food insecurity, or even just finding activities for your children to be a part of. And that really is the beauty and power of community-driven resilience hubs. These are spaces where neighbors come together and provide supports for one another on a daily basis. And it's those practices that they demonstrate day after day in supporting one another, in filling gaps and meeting needs, that really collectively builds towards thriving and resilient communities. And I think that's the power of this network.